Hey everyone, so 3 days after the entire media corps on both sides of the Atlantic absolutely lost their shit because of the Trump-Putin summit and the revelations of that, I've covered that in another video. Novichok is back in the news again, front page on the BBC today. Salisbury poisoning, police identify Novichok suspects. This is a big one. Police identify Novichok suspects, say the BBC. Police are believed to have identified the suspected perpetrators of the Novichok attack on a Russian ex-spy and his daughter in Salisbury in March, according to reports. Several Russians were involved in the attempted murder of Sergei and Yulia Skripal, the press association says. They are thought to have been identified through CCTV, cross-checked with border entry data. Earlier this month, Dawn Sturgis died, unfortunately, after being poisoned by Novichok. She and her partner, Charlie Rowley, fell ill on the 30th of June in Amesbury, Wiltshire. He remains seriously ill in hospital. Police believe the incidents are linked. The UK government has blamed Russia, of course it has, but the country's authorities deny any involvement. Asked about the latest developments, the Russian ambassador to the UK, Alexander Yakovenko, told the BBC, quote, "Unfortunately, we don't have official statement on the British side. I want to hear from the Scotland Yard or from the Foreign Office. A lot of versions that we hear in newspapers, they are not supported by the Foreign Office." We'll get to that in a minute. Investigators believe they have identified the suspected perpetrators of the Novichok attack through CCTV and have cross-checked this with records of people who entered the country around that time. A source with knowledge of the investigation told the Press Association. Which source? Is this another one of those anonymous sources? They, the investigators, are sure the suspects are Russian. The Met Police are leading the investigation. That shouldn't take that long then. Have declined to comment. The BBC have not been able to independently confirm the story. Philip Ingram, a former British Army intelligence officer and chemical weapons expert, said the development supported his perception that it was a professional attack designed to send a political message, adding that it happened 2 weeks before the Russian election. Strange, isn't it? They always ask these people who think it was an attack and it was a professional attack, and you think the Russians, they always ask them their opinions, but they never publish opinions from people like Craig Murray, who are vastly experienced in chemical weapons and handling of chemical weapons. He was ambassador to Uzbekistan when the factory in Uzbekistan was that made Novichok in the former USSR. He oversaw it when, surprise, surprise, it was the Americans and the British that went in there and dismantled it all. It wasn't the Russians. Strange that, isn't it? They never ask those people though. They never ask these people with great expertise, and the majority of them are saying, no, no, this story's BS. But they never ask them and quote them in their articles, the BBC don't. Strange that. The article continues, an inquest into the death of Dawn Sturgis was opened and adjourned on Thursday. Right, so it's open and adjourned. Coroner David Ridley said the cause of death would not be given until further tests are completed. Counter-terrorism detectives have revealed that they found a small bottle containing Novichok at Mr. Rowley's home in Muggleton Road, Amesbury. And there they've given a nice little graphic of the major places that are really of interest in this story. And look at that. Wow, putting down the government research laboratory of the largest chemical and biological weapons factory in the country. It's right there in between them. Nobody's asking that question, are they? Strange. This is Ben Wallace, who is the Minister of State for Security. So, you know, obviously he should know what he's talking about. He should know exactly what's going on here. And he says, with regards to the Press Association's assertions today from this anonymous source, he says, I think this story belongs in the ill-informed and wild speculation folder. Minister for State and Security says that, and the BBC don't even bother putting it in their article. Okay, as for the small bottle, this was from yesterday. The small bottle has been identified. This is from the Daily Mail exclusive. Novichok victim Dawn Sturgis died after spraying nerve poison that smelled of ammonia from a perfume bottle onto both wrists, her boyfriend reveals. The article says this: Novichok victim Dawn Sturgis died after spraying perfume laced with nerve agent onto both her wrists. Her boyfriend, who was exposed to the deadly substance, is revealed. Charlie Rowley, who is in critical but stable condition in hospital, made the admission to his brother during an emotional phone conversation on Tuesday evening. The couple collapsed a few hours apart on June the 30th at Mr. Rowley's flat in Avebury, Wiltshire. They are believed to have stumbled upon the same batch of Novichok used to try and assassinate Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in a nearby Salisbury in March. Charlie, 45, is unable to remember where he and his partner found the perfume bottle, but is understood to be near Salisbury City Centre, close to the spot the Skripals fell ill. Went over to the as soon as I read that, went over to the Wikipedia page, and memory loss is not one of the side effects of Novichok, so I fully expected there to be an edit on that Wikipedia page very soon by Philip Cross just to put that in. Matthew Rowley, who lives in Warminster, Wiltshire, told Mail Online, "My brother told me that he remembered that Dawn had sprayed the perfume on both her wrists. His memory has been affected by this, but day by day he's beginning to remember more. He doesn't recall much of what happened afterwards, but this particular detail stuck in his mind. But he doesn't remember where they found it. This stuff that killed his girlfriend, he doesn't remember it." He also mentioned that he vaguely recollects there being an odd ammonia-type smell from the perfume. I checked this as well. It stinks of ammonia, apparently Novichok does. Absolutely reeks of ammonia. Who sprays stuff that smells like cat piss onto their wrists? Who sprays ammonia onto their wrists? We don't know yet if he had direct contact with a nerve agent like Dawn appears to have done, or whether it was after he had touched her. At the moment, he's still very ill. He's not out the woods yet. I wish him a very, very speedy recovery. I've asked him where he and Dawn picked up the bottle of perfume. Was it in Elizabeth Gardens or somewhere else in Salisbury? But he just cannot remember yet. His memory has been affected by this, but day by day is beginning to remember more, it says again. It's the Daily Mail repeating itself in one article. There has been talk of possibly relocating Charlie to a safe house. Yeah, I bet there has. I bet there's been talk of possibly relocating Charlie to a safe house. I bet there has. If this was an accident and they accidentally picked up this bottle, why would he need to go to a safe house? Would it be so his story and he actually doesn't talk directly to people and contradict anything that the governments are saying by any chance? Now, something that really I immediately thought, wait a minute, hold on a minute. Charlie apparently gained consciousness last Wednesday. This was from Wired on Monday last week. I think it was Monday, before Charlie Rowley had woken up. Look at the highlight there. Frank Gardner, the BBC security correspondent, has suggested the poison could have been in something innocuous, such as a perfume bottle or other luxury toiletry. BBC security correspondent now is clairvoyant. That's a hell of a guess, that is, isn't it? That's a hell of a guess that he mentioned perfume bottle literally 2 days before Charlie woke up and told the police that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am still yet to meet anybody who believes this story. I'm still yet to meet anybody who believes the story. It is unbelievable, to be quite honest. Why are they quoting unconfirmed sources on something so of national importance? Why are the Press Association quoting unconfirmed and unconfirmed sources? Why? I mean, there are so many holes in this story, it's unreal. There are just so many holes. If it's a gel, like they say it was, smelled on a door handle, how can it be in a perfume bottle? Just think. Think. If you put a gel in a perfume bottle and you tried to spray it, it would just dribble out the end. It wouldn't atomize and spray onto your skin. And if it wasn't a gel and it was a liquid, why were we told it was a gel that was smeared on the door handle? And if it was a liquid that was smeared on the door handle, what sort of stupid assassin would do that knowing that it was wet that day and the liquid would have just fell off? There are more holes in this story than a sieve. And whenever there are holes in the story like this, and whenever they come out with a statement or they come out with a thought on exactly what happened, and people poke holes in it, and it becomes obvious that it's BS, all of a sudden the story changes. What does that tell you? I know what it tells me. I know what my thoughts on it are. See, I don't know whether it was Novichok. I don't know whether it was Novichok at all, or a part of the Novichok group of nerve agents, which is more accurate. I don't know whether Russia did it. They would certainly have a motive if you were to look at my previous videos and you look at all the stuff that the media and the government haven't told us that we know, that hasn't told us that we know to be true, such as Pablo Miller, Orbis Business Intelligence, Christopher Steele. We know those things to be true, and the BBC, they won't tell us that. The government have slapped a D notice on all the publications over here. So they could. A D notice isn't. You can ignore it. It's not mandatory. So they won't tell us anything of that importance. So it's possible. It's possible it could be Russia. It's possible it could be another state who was capable of manufacturing the Novichok group of nerve agents, despite what they tell us. See, that's it. There's so many lies that they have tried to tell us, such as only Russia would know how to do this. It's not true. It's not true. Like I say, I don't know whether Novichok was involved. I don't know whether Russia did it. I don't know whether it was somebody else who tried to do it. I don't know whether it was a total cock-up at Porton Down. My gut says Porton Down is involved in this somewhere, especially if you take into consideration that the 8 weeks prior to that day where Yulia and Sergei Skripal were poisoned, there were massive chemical and biological weapons drills on Salisbury Plains, literally just a few miles away, that ended either the day or the day before they were poisoned. The BBC don't report on that, though. I think that is a massive piece of evidence, don't you? It's a massive piece of the puzzle. All they said in that article with regards to Porton Down was literally, Porton Down is in Salisbury. That's all. It's one sentence about that long. Porton Down is a chemical weapons lab in Salisbury. That's it. This smells to high heaven. It really does. It smells of absolute 100% pure bullshit of a type developed in Britain. If you enjoyed this video, please click the bell down there and subscribe so you get a notification of next time I drop a video. Also, I can't do this without your help, so if you can afford it and you enjoy my videos, please support the channel by subscribing to my Patreon. Link is down there. You can do it for as little as $1 a month, and it really does help. If you can't afford it, that's fine. Please share my work and talk to other people about the issues that I bring up. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.